Okay, got a little video here of doing some shock work. These shocks are off of one of our racers, Chuck Norris's YFZR 450. If you want to ride fast, you got to have the best shocks. A lot of these young guys think it's all about motors, but if you really want to ride fast, this is where it's at. I've already changed the oil in this. Did a little revalving for Chuck. Now I built this new vacuum machine, and I just want to see if my manual bleeding was as good as this vacuum device can get. So I'm going to take the spring back off, hook up the vacuum, pull it a few times, see if we get any air out of it, fill it back up, reset the piston position, and be good to go. First thing you want to do is don't screw up and try to do this without removing the nitrogen pressure that's already on there. Alright, we got all that pressure off the piston. Let's get a little more air out of there. Try that one more time with the valve open. Got a little clip we got to get out of here. That's that right there. You gotta have all these special tools when you're doing shock work. These tools custom made by my buddy Carlton Anderson. Appreciate that, Carlton. That's a piston cap. Okay, one thing I like to do is check, see where that piston's at before I get started. That's perfect. Okay. All right. You put this ring back in there. You'll see why in a few minutes. Now we want to remove the little bleed screw. Shouldn't be any pressure on this piston. Got a little dirt around there. We need to clean that up before I take that all the way off. Alright. Oil's right there. That's a good sign. And you gotta have another special tool. Be careful with this thing not to tighten it too tight. It's very thin, but then you got to have it tight enough so it don't leak. So that's a little part made by Race Tech. Alright. Next we hook up our vacuum device. Blue line is the clean supply oil. Red line is what we're going to suck out of the shock. Let you see that. There you go. Okay. All right. Got another special tool. We're going to put this on the piston. Also compliments my buddy Carlton Anderson. Shout out. Okay. Alright. So we're all hooked up. I'm going to suck the oil out. See how much air we get out through here. These are little check valves. And then we'll pump it back in, do that a couple times, and I'll do a manual pull. Got about 22 inches of mercury on there right now. You can see just a couple bubbles. But not bad at all. That manual bleed I did earlier looks like it was pretty effective. That's how a lot of guys do it. Anyway, nice part about this though is you can change the oil without taking the shock apart if you just want to change the oil. It doesn't get 100% of the oil out, but it gets the majority out. Some of what's going on is you're degassing the oil too by that vacuum you're pulling on it. A little more oil out of it, or a little more air. Piston's all the way up to the top now. Alright, it's holding a pretty good vacuum. Gonna relieve that vacuum. Alright. Now watch here as we put the air to it. just a small leak on my shock bleeder. I'll have to work on that. So now the shock is full of oil again, actually over full because we got the piston reservoir full of oil. We push that out at the end. Alright, I'm going to pull the vacuum on it one more time, see what kind of air we get. Again, watching the red line as we pull that vacuum. So I got pressure back off. And over here, open that vacuum line. And watch these go in. Got a little more air out of it than I thought I would that time. I wasn't watching my vacuum either. I pulled a little too much vacuum on that. Push some oil back in it again. Make sure you isolate your vacuum pump when you do that. I screwed up. Okay. Alright, I'm going to do it manually this time. I'm going to watch my red line to see if I get any air out of it. Just in case there's some air in the shims, I'm going to tap this a few times. In case we got any air in the shim stack. Look pretty good. We're going to do that one more time. Alright, no pressure on it. Let's see if we get any air. No bubbles on the red line. We're good. Fill it one more time. You really don't need to push this one. I'll push a little bit and see. That one pushes a little harder because you're going through the valving and all in there. All right. Fill it the last time. Seen how smooth that shock came out? All right, now we got to set the dividing piston in your reservoir here. Right now it's all the way out and it's full of oil. So I'm going to push some oil back into my device over there. I don't have my piston wrench marked on where I need to stop the piston, so I'll have to measure with my calipers. Again, that line's nice and full. No air whatsoever coming out of there. Four more millimeters and I'll be perfect. How many was that? Yeah, just a hair too much. I'll put just a touch of oil back in this thing. That's it. Try that one more time. Once you get this tool marked, you won't make those errors I just made. It'll be easier to get that set just right. Just another hair off. I like to keep it perfect. So the nice thing about using that shock bleeder, it's easy to do this. That's perfect. Okay. Okay. Okay, see the oil's right there at the top, not sucking any air in. It's beautiful. Need that little screw washer off of there. Still don't like pulling it off. Whoa. Sorry about that. Just trying to get a rag. There we go. Don't like dirt anywhere. Working on shocks. Dirt is not your friend. Gotta keep stuff clean. teach Chuck Norris that. That's a struggle. Torque those later. Beautiful, beautiful shocks. Don't know what you're missing if you're running anything else. Clean it a little bit down in there and put some fresh grease in there. Didn't like how dirty that looked. Okay, get that spring back out. Set that on a clean rag. Take a little bit of this grease. Just to make sure that piston floats around nice down in there. Gives it a little lubrication. Just clean this up one more time. Okay. Put that clip back in there. This one's missing a little, there it is. Cleaning that up. Got a little O-ring that goes in that bad boy. But what we're gonna do first, we gotta put some nitrogen in there now. Put 150 pounds of nitrogen down in that. So get your tool out. There to just a hair over 150. Set 150 psi. Stroke it a few times, make sure I don't hear any air in there. It's good to go. Just for the heck of it. Just want to see how it compares. Really need a shock dyno next. Working on that. Pretty good. That's it.